Pythagorean's theorem. This is what we're going to use to find the different side lengths of right triangles. Now, we are able to use this theorem to find either the legs or the hypotenuse of the triangles. And it's actually really easy to do. It's a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And all of that doesn't really mean much to you right now, but we're going to make sure that it does here in a couple minutes. So first thing first, the only time that we can ever use Pythagorean's theorem is when we are working with a right triangle. This must be a right triangle in order for this to work. All right, so the sides of the right triangle, which are on each side of the right angle right here, these are both called legs. And then the longest side of our triangle is called a hypotenuse. You can always find the hypotenuse by going straight over across from the right angle. If you draw an arrow, that's going to be your hypotenuse. All right, so that's always going to be the case. Regardless of what direction it goes, your hypotenuse is always your longest side, and it is the side directly across from the right angle. So a squared plus b squared equals c squared. We bring that into play here. Each of your legs could either be A or B. The one letter that always has to stay the same is your hypotenuse. It must be C. So when you have a triangle, the first thing I'm going to ask you to do is locate C. And then you can pick if A or B for which of the legs that you want it to represent. So you're always going to have an A, B, C, or it could be A, B, C, but C is always going to be in this place on the hypotenuse. All right, so our formula, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. It's not too difficult. We're dealing with a squared situation, so when we're going to be solving for a variable, we will be taking the square root. Now, when we were working with quadratics, you took both the positive and the negative. We're only going to be working with the positive here because this is actually a measurement of distance, and distance can only be positive, so you don't have to worry about the negative of the square root. So first thing first, when we get a problem like this, we're going to label our C. Well, right here, I see that I have my right angle. I'm going to draw a picture right over next to it, and I know this is going to be C right here. Now I can pick which one I want to be A and B, which one of my legs. I'm just going to say A and B, and then I'm going to set this up into my formula. So remember, my formula is A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Now I'm just going to take what I know for the values that I have for each variable and plug them into the equation. So for a squared, I said that a is 11, so I'm going to plug that in as 11 squared plus b I said was 19, so 19 squared equals c squared. And I don't have a value for c yet, so I'm just going to leave that there as c squared. All right, so now we're going to start using our calculator and solve for C. That's all we're going to do. So I'm going to bring this over here so you can see it better. And we've got, well, we should all know that 11 squared is 121. Plus 19 squared, that's not one that I personally have in my memory bank. If you do, I am happy for you. But 19 squared is going to give us 361. Equals c squared. Remember, we can't do anything with that yet because we don't have a value for c. Okay, so then our next step, 121 plus 361, that's going to give us 482, I believe. And remember, we're isolating the variable, and to isolate and get rid of this exponent right here, we're going to take the square root of each side. Okay, so I'll scroll down a little bit here, and we're going to end up with c equals some sort of value. So let's clear this out, and I'm going to say the square root of 482. That's going to give me 21.95. So c equals 21.95. Now, if they give us a value of the distance, like if it's being measured in inches, or if it's going to be measured in feet, yards, centimeters, whatever it is, then you need to make sure that you label it as such. But when they just give you the numbers here, you can leave it as this, the 21.95, and that is good to go. All right, let's see what we know. Okay, again, I'm going to label my distances. So right across from my right angle, I know that this is going to be C. And now I get to pick, what do I want, A or B? This time we'll switch it up so you can see that it works both directions. And we've got A, B, and C. We already have C, we already have A. We are going to be looking for B. So let's write our formula up here. And then we're going to plug in the values for the numbers that we know. All right, so A, we know that A is 4.6. So 4.6 squared, or raised to the second power. We do not know B, so we're going to leave it right there. B squared equals C squared. All right, we know that C is 6.1. So then that's squared. All right, so when we're using decimals, same thing, just bust out your calculator. You will be fine to use that. You'll always have that available to you, which is nice. So 4.6 squared is going to give us 21.16. Plus b squared, because we still don't have a value for b, and 6.1 squared is going to give us 37.21. All right, now we need to isolate b. We need to get b by itself. So we're going to subtract 21.16 from both sides. It's going to cancel out right here, and b squared is going to come down. And that's going to give us 37.21 minus 21.16, 16.05. Okay, we're going to get rid of this exponent right here. In order to do that, we need to take the square root of both sides. Remember, we are only going to take the positive square root because we're talking about distance. So we've got 16.05, and we are going to be taking the square root, and it's going to be 4.006. So we're just going to round that to 4.01. So B is going to equal 4.01. So you're going to utilize this formula and solve for any side of a right triangle as long as you have two of the three sides. Make sure that you label C correctly by going straight over from your right angle. That's going to be your hypotenuse, your longest length. And then you just fill it in. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. And solve for the positive square root because, again, we're talking about distance. If you guys need some more help with this, please let me know, and I am more than happy to walk you through some of these examples. The Khan Academy video that I also posted has some practice on there, and that would be beneficial to you as well. And I will also post the IXLs that are not required, but if you want some more practice just to make sure that you understand the concept, you're more than welcome to do that. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.